warm welcome to all our viewers here in Nigeria and around the world. This is Business Morning with me, Bolson Omofai, at the headquarters of Channels Television in Lagos. Now, this is a snapshot of some of what's making the headlines on the main street. And skipping our business with the Niger Delta Development Commission's projects, allegations of corruption and projects not being performed over the years. This is what the acting president, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, reportedly says on Tuesday at a meeting. According to Mediahead, the acting president quoted says, sometimes projects are designed not to succeed by the NDDC, he meant, but just for some people to make money. Now, if you look at the various allegations of corruption and hundreds of billions of naira poured into NDDC over the several years, this is not surprising coming from the acting president that projects are largely designed not to succeed, but just for some people to make money. The new managing director of the agency designed to take care of the Niger Delta needs, where Nigeria's economic underbelly really is, has been on Twitter saying that he's turning things around. We're tracking the new managing director of the NDDC over the next couple of days and to get more of his thoughts into what the NDDC has been able to achieve or unable to achieve over the years for millions of Nigerians sitting on Nigeria's petrodollars. Meantime, so the acting president, Osinbajo, yesterday now brought something new to the table, and the media aide says there's a new way of thinking and engagement by the Buhari's administration to ensure development of the Niger Delta called New Vision. Simply put, the New Vision, according to the acting president or the government, is a partnership between the federal government, the state governments, the oil-producing states, that is, the host communities, and the private sector, to make sure that projects are designed and delivered in a manner that delivers goods and the benefits to the people who are directly affected by Nigeria's petrodollar industry, oil from the onshore activities in the Niger Delta. And speaking to this side of the economy, the acting president's been speaking to new loans for state governments. On Tuesday in Abuja, he also was reportedly written to the House and the Senate, the National Assembly, the upper and lower legislative house, to separate the $1.49 billion loan request for projects in 10 states from the federal government's bigger external borrowing or rolling plan, midterm plan 2016-2018. That program of external borrowing was put in place under the medium-term facility, what we call the MTEF strategy or framework for government budgets and planning for the administration. Now, the acting president is asking the House and the Senate to separate 10 state governments, their external borrowing requests from the federal government, to fast-track these state governments looking for external loans to provide some projects within the respective states. So, if you don't have the list, now, here it is on your TV screen. Those are the names of the states at the bottom there: Ogun, Ondo, Kaduna, Kano, Ebonyi, Plateau, Abia, Katsina, Jigawa, and Enugu. Those are the 10 states asking for a total of $1.5 billion in external loans. And of course, you know, as sub-nationals, they would have to go through the sovereign, which is the federal government, to secure these loans from various agencies and organizations around the world. So they included that amount in the federal government external borrowing plan. Now the acting president is saying, look, can you folks at the legislative fast track this or accelerate this approval, remove this $1.49 billion from the entire total of Nigeria's package so that these state governments can receive this money or source these loans and bring them back home for development. So what do they want to do with $1.49 billion? The 10 state governments, these projects they say they want to do include water resources, agriculture, health, rural development, and other infrastructure at state levels. And that's the discussion there. We're going to hear back from the upper and lower legislative house how they're fast-tracking this $1.49 billion request. Yesterday, we spent quite some time here on the program talking about the very draggy nature of budgeting in Nigeria. So, the Director General in charge of budgets, Dr. Ben Akabueze, spoke in Abuja yesterday on what is being done to reverse this prolonged, protracted, whatever you want to call it, a conundrum of budget packaging, deliberations and approval at the various levels of government. And this is what he says, that the federal government is working on a new legislation codenamed Organic Budget Law. That's something. What does it really entail? To address the quick passage of annual budgets. Dr. Ben Akabueze says the Organic Budget Law will, okay, so flip that over and you see what a new law it went passed by the National Assembly will specify the schedule and the procedures of budget preparation at the public civil service levels, at the various MDAs, and the approvals that are needed, the execution and the processing of the monies being disbursed, including the final accounts for the various aspects of the budget. That's what Ben Akabueze says is an organic law, an organic budget law that has been passed on to the National Assembly to approve, to bridge the gap and cut the timeline of budget processing in Nigeria. A very interesting development, and we're going to follow that organic budget law very closely in the days and weeks ahead, as soon as we have more details coming through on that. According to Akabueze, he said, we agreed, partly quoted in the media this morning, that every serious country should have a predictable financial year. We don't have a financial year that is predictable. So, well, you can decide whether we're a serious country or not. And Akabueze, the budget chief, says a predictable financial